Every time you walk into a grocery store, you're entering a psychological battlefield. Whether it's Tesco in Manchester or Walmart in Minnesota, you're facing the same enemy. People who understand your unconscious mind better than you do. You think you're just buying groceries, but you're actually the product being harvested. Your attention, your impulses, your deepest psychological patterns, all being systematically exploited by billion-dollar corporations who've turned shopping into a science. By the end of this video, you'll never walk through those automatic doors the same way again, because once you see the strings, you can't unsee them. Let's start with something you've never consciously noticed, but your body knows intimately. Do you notice how your path often leads you to the right when you enter most stores? This has everything to do with how most people use their right hand to write, to reach, to interact with the world. Moving right feels natural, comfortable. So they exploit this to make you feel like you're taking a natural route. Whether it's Tesco in the UK or Walmart in the US, that rightward flow puts you in a compliant mindset from the very first step. But here's the thing. Even in stores where you actually go left, that's still a planned, defined path, unconsciously picked up by your brain. You're still being naturally led to a designed destination. This isn't coincidence. This is psychological conditioning based on decades of consumer research. They're steering your path from the very first step, making manipulation feel like choice. But here's where it gets sinister. Notice how the fresh produce section is always first. Beautiful, colorful, healthy-looking fruits and vegetables greeting you like a wholesome welcome committee. This isn't about convenience. It's about moral licensing. When you put healthy items in your cart first, your brain relaxes its guard. You've made good choices, so now you can justify the impulse purchases that follow. It's the same reason casinos pump oxygen and remove clocks. They're manufacturing a psychological state that benefits them, not you. And then there's the maze. Walk through any supermarket and try to find a straight path from entrance to exit. You can't. These layouts are designed like labyrinths, forcing you past thousands of products you never intended to buy. The milk, bread, and other essentials, they're always at the back, or scattered at opposite ends of the store. From Sainsbury's to Target, they all use the same strategy. They call it the milk run in the industry, dragging you through their psychological obstacle course just to get basic necessities. Every step is planned, every turn is calculated. You're not shopping, you're being hunted. That fresh bread smell when you walk in feels so authentic, doesn't it? Warm, comforting, homely. It triggers something primal. Memories of childhood, feelings of nurturing, domestic bliss. But here's what's really happening. That scent is pumped through ventilation systems, even when they're not baking fresh bread. It's artificial, engineered, designed to trigger your unconscious associations with comfort and home. And this isn't just grocery stores. Think about those upscale clothing boutiques you've walked past. You know the ones. You catch that distinct, sophisticated fragrance, and something just feels premium. But here's what you probably didn't consciously notice. That exact same scent hits you every single time you walk past that store. It never changes. It's not someone's cologne or a seasonal air freshener. It's a carefully engineered signature scent pumped through their ventilation system 24/7. That smell is designed to become psychologically linked with luxury, style, and status in your unconscious mind. The lighting, the music, the store layout, the way the clothes are displayed. Everything is orchestrated to create one cohesive sensory experience that bypasses your rational mind and speaks directly to your emotions and identity. So when grocery stores pump artificial bakery smells to trigger your nurturing instincts, They're using the exact same playbook that luxury retailers use to trigger your status desires. Different scent. Same psychological warfare. But it doesn't stop with smell. Listen to the music next time you're shopping. During busy periods, it's faster paced, unconsciously encouraging you to move quickly, grab items, keep the flow moving. During quiet times, it slows down, encouraging you to browse, linger, discover products you weren't looking for. The lighting isn't random either. Those warm, golden lights over the rotisserie chicken section, they're specifically chosen to make the food look more appetizing. The bright, cool lighting in the produce section makes fruits and vegetables appear fresher, more vibrant. Even the sound of produce being misted isn't about preservation, it's about psychology. That gentle spraying sound creates an auditory cue of freshness, even though most produce actually stays fresher without constant misting. Your eyes are being manipulated from the moment you enter. Product placement isn't random. It's warfare disguised as merchandising. Adult eye level. That's premium real estate. The most expensive, highest margin products live there. The brands that pay the most for shelf space get the golden zone between 4 and 6 feet high. Meanwhile, the cheaper alternatives are banished to ankle level or ceiling height. Literally out of sight, out of mind. But it gets more insidious. Children's cereals and snacks are placed at child eye level. Your 4-year-old isn't accidentally spotting those colorful cartoon characters. They're being deliberately targeted by marketing teams who understand child psychology better than most parents do. The end caps, those displays at the end of each aisle, they're not showcasing sale items. They're showcasing products with the highest profit margins, designed to catch you as you turn corners. Your peripheral vision picks up these displays unconsciously, and your brain interprets the prominent placement as importance or value. Color psychology is everywhere. Red creates urgency and excitement. Yellow suggests savings and happiness. Green implies health and natural goodness. Blue conveys trust and reliability. These aren't decorative choices. They're psychological triggers designed to influence your purchasing decisions below the threshold of conscious awareness. Even the floor patterns guide your movement. Those slight color changes and directional lines aren't aesthetic features. They're subtle psychological nudges, steering you toward high-profit sections and away from quick exits. Hand me a small basket, and I'll buy what I need. Give me a massive shopping cart, and suddenly, I'm buying for an army I don't have. This isn't willpower failure. It's psychological manipulation. Larger carts create what researchers call the container effect. When your cart looks empty, your brain interprets this as failure, inadequacy, not having enough. So you unconsciously fill it to feel successful. But the manipulation goes deeper. Those carts are getting bigger every year. The standard shopping cart today is 40% larger than carts from the 1980s. Not because families are bigger, because bigger carts generate bigger purchases. The aisles themselves are part of the deception. Wide, spacious passages create an illusion of abundance and freedom. You feel relaxed, expansive, generous with yourself. Narrow aisles would create anxiety, urgency, a desire to escape quickly. So they give you space to browse, to linger, to accumulate. Notice how the carts are designed to pull slightly to one side? That's not poor manufacturing. That's intentional. It forces you to pay attention to steering, which means you're moving slower, seeing more products, more likely to stop and examine items. The cart handles are positioned to make pushing comfortable, but pulling awkward. Once you start moving forward through the store, it's psychologically and physically easier to continue than to turn around and leave. That 99-cent price tag isn't about saving you a cent. It's about hijacking your brain's pattern recognition system. Your mind processes prices from left to right, and it anchors on that first digit. So $4.99 registers as $4 something rather than nearly $5. This isn't coincidence. It's deliberate manipulation of your cognitive shortcuts. But the psychological pricing goes much deeper. Ever notice how basic necessities like milk and bread are often genuine bargains? These are called loss leaders. Products sold at a loss to create an illusion of overall value. Your brain remembers those cheap staples and assumes everything else must be reasonably priced too. The decoy effect is everywhere. 3 sizes of the same product: small, medium, and large. The medium is often only slightly cheaper than the large, making the large seem like incredible value. But here's the manipulation. They don't want you to buy the small size. The medium exists solely to make the large appear to be a bargain. Buy 2, get 1 free. Sounds generous, doesn't it? But check the math. Often, 3 items at the sale price cost more than buying 2 items at regular price elsewhere. Your brain focuses on free and ignores the calculations that would reveal the deception. Bulk buying triggers our ancestral hoarding instincts. 24-pack toilet rolls. That's practical. That's smart planning. But when did you last run out of toilet roll? This isn't planning. It's psychological manipulation, exploiting your evolutionary fear of scarcity. While stocks last, limited time offer, only 3 remaining. These phrases aren't informational. They're psychological weapons designed to short-circuit your rational decision-making process. Artificial scarcity triggers what psychologists call loss aversion. The fear of missing out overwhelms the logic of whether you actually need the item. Your brain shifts from, "Do I want this?" to, "Can I afford to lose this opportunity?" The checkout queue is where this manipulation reaches its peak. You're trapped, can't leave, mentally exhausted from making dozens of micro-decisions throughout the store. And they surround you with low-cost, high-margin impulse items precisely when your willpower is depleted. Those sweets, magazines, gift cards, phone chargers, they're not there for convenience. They're there because retailers know you're psychologically vulnerable at that exact moment. Your conscious mind is focused on getting through the queue and escaping the store, while your unconscious mind is being bombarded with just one more small purchase temptations. The queue itself is designed to maximize this vulnerability. Slow-moving lines give you time to notice the impulse items. But move too fast, and you might grab something without thinking. So they calibrate the speed to keep you in that sweet spot of awareness without urgency. Oh, I forgot. Items strategically placed right at checkout. Phone chargers, batteries, lip balm, travel-sized toiletries. These aren't accidents you're correcting. These are purchases you never planned to make, triggered by environmental cues designed to simulate genuine need. But even when you think you've successfully navigated the gauntlet, even when you've steered the kids past those flashing arcade machines and candy dispensers by the exit, they have one final trap waiting. That fuel station attached to the store isn't just convenience. It's the last psychological snare before you escape their ecosystem. You need petrol to get home, so now you're a captive customer one more time. And notice that price display. Whether it's £1.31.97 per litre in the UK or $3.45.9 per gallon in the US, they're playing the same psychological game. They've created fictional fractions of currency, prices that don't even exist in physical money, just to make your brain anchor on the lower number. You're trying to leave. You need fuel. You're mentally exhausted from the shopping gauntlet. And they're still playing psychological games with pricing that exploits how your brain processes numbers. There truly is no escape from the manipulation until you're completely off their premises. This is where it gets truly insidious. They're not just selling you products, they're selling you versions of yourself. The organic section isn't just about food, it's about identity. I'm the kind of person who cares about health, about the environment, about making responsible choices. Premium pricing becomes a feature, not a bug. You're not paying more for food. You're paying for permission to see yourself as virtuous. Luxury items positioned at checkout aren't about hunger. They're about status signaling. That artisanal chocolate bar, that premium coffee, that imported cheese. Small indulgences that let you feel sophisticated, discerning, successful. Family-sized packaging exploits parental identity. I'm a good provider. I plan ahead. I make sure my family has enough. Never mind that half of it will expire unused. Buying in bulk feels responsible, protective, loving. Brand loyalty programs aren't about savings. They're about tribal belonging. I'm a Tesco Club Card member. I'm part of this community. This is my store. The discounts are secondary to the psychological comfort of belonging, of being recognized, of having status within the system. Even the shopping experience itself becomes part of your identity narrative. I shop at upscale stores like Waitrose or Whole Foods because I appreciate quality. I shop at Aldi because I'm financially savvy. The store choice becomes a statement about who you are, not just what you need. You're starting to see it now, aren't you? This isn't coincidence. This isn't a collection of random business practices that happen to benefit retailers. This is a coordinated system, a systematic exploitation of human psychology, refined over decades of research and testing. Every element, from the moment you see the store sign to the moment you load your car with purchases you never intended to make, has been designed to maximize profit by minimizing your conscious control. Carl Jung understood that most of our decisions happen below conscious awareness, driven by patterns and complexes we don't even recognize. What you're seeing in these stores isn't just clever marketing, it's a systematic weaponization of this insight. These corporations have invested billions in understanding your unconscious mind, your emotional triggers, your psychological vulnerabilities. They know you better than you know yourself. And they're using that knowledge against you every single time you shop. The fresh bread scent, triggering your nurturing instincts. The cart size, exploiting your abundance desires. The artificial scarcity, activating your fear of loss. The identity products feeding your need for status and belonging. None of this is accidental. All of it is designed to bypass your rational mind and speak directly to your unconscious patterns, your deepest psychological needs and fears. So what now? Do you become a paranoid hermit who grows your own vegetables and makes your own soap? No, this isn't about fear or isolation. This is about awareness, about conscious choice, about reclaiming your psychological sovereignty in spaces designed to strip it away. These manipulation techniques work because they operate in darkness, below conscious awareness. Simply knowing about them fundamentally shifts the power dynamic. You can't unsee what you've seen. You can't unknow what you now know. The next time you walk into a supermarket, you'll notice things. That bread smell will seem less authentic. That massive cart will feel like a psychological trap. Those checkout impulse items will reveal themselves as calculated manipulation rather than convenient afterthoughts. You're not powerless against these systems. You never were. You were just operating without crucial information they preferred you didn't have. Knowledge is the antidote to manipulation. Awareness is the foundation of choice. And choice. Conscious, deliberate, informed choice. That's where your power lives. This is just the beginning. These psychological warfare techniques aren't limited to supermarkets. They're in your workplace, on your phone, in your social media feeds, in every environment designed to extract value from your attention and behavior. But now you know what to look for. Now you understand the game being played, and that makes all the difference. The strings are still there, but now you can see them. And once you can see the strings, you can choose whether to dance. The next time you're standing in that checkout queue, surrounded by sweets and gift cards and last chance offers, remember this moment. Remember that you're not weak for wanting those things. You're human, facing billion-dollar manipulation systems designed to exploit exactly that humanity. But you're also something more powerful than they bargained for. You're someone who knows, someone who sees, someone who chooses consciously rather than reacting unconsciously. And that changes everything.